Okay, let's jump straight into this explainer. Today we're putting on our digital consultant hats and stepping right into the postmortem of a catastrophic e-commerce failure. It's a real cautionary tale. I want you to imagine a thriving direct-to-consumer store. For years, they did absolutely everything right according to the old playbook. Their site code was squeaky clean, their keyword strategy was incredibly strong, and they completely dominated the first page of Google. We're talking massive revenue here. And then, literally overnight, the traffic just stopped. The sales totally dried up, so we're here to conduct a digital autopsy and figure out exactly what killed them.
Zero. Literally nothing. That is the exact amount of AI search visibility this previously thriving, fully optimized e-commerce store had overnight in the year 2026. This wasn't some seasonal dip in traffic, it wasn't a slow, gradual decline, it was an absolute total flatline to zero.
Which, of course, leads us to the big mystery, right? Why did a fully optimized store just vanish overnight? Well, as a consultant coming in to audit a disaster like this, the very first thing I check is the technical pulse. But here's the crazy part. Their servers didn't crash. They weren't hacked. Honestly, their checkout process was working perfectly. The reality is actually much more terrifying for anyone running a digital business today. Their digital strategy was just fatally stuck in the past.
So let's get into part one, the answer engine era. This is the paradigm shift that changed everything. For basically over 2 decades, legacy SEO was the whole game, wasn't it? You type in a keyword, and boom, you get pages and pages of blue links. The store we're analyzing today, they were the absolute king of that world. But today, we're facing a totally new reality, and that's the answer engine. Consumers aren't sitting there scrolling through pages of blue links anymore. Instead, they're asking direct, conversational questions to AI agents. We're talking about things like Google AI Overviews, Perplexity, and ChatGPT.
Now here is the really harsh reality of this shift. AI doesn't give you pages of options to choose from. It provides a singular, definitive recommendation. In the old days, ranking on page 2 or 3 meant you at least still existed. Today, if you aren't machine readable in a way that lets the AI confidently cite you as the answer, your business essentially does not exist to these models. Our failed store was perfectly visible to human eyes, for sure, but they were completely invisible to the machine.
So how do you survive a shift like that? Well, you've got to master what tech entrepreneur and best-selling author Anthony Farrior calls GEO, or Generative Engine Optimization. GEO is the absolute mandatory technical blueprint you need to capture the ultimate prize right now, which is the AI search citation. This moves completely beyond those surface-level descriptions and legacy keywords we used to use. It demands a highly precise architecture so that AI crawlers can actually parse, verify, and confidently recommend you to a buyer.
That brings us to part 2, failing the readability test. Let's dig into the technical audit.
When we looked under the hood, our autopsy revealed that the failed store totally missed 4 critical schemas. We're talking product, offer, aggregate rating, and FAQ page. Now you might be wondering, why is missing those fatal? It's because AI agents absolutely require this exact markup to register your stock levels and your star counts with 100% certainty. Think about it. If the AI cannot mathematically verify that your product is actually in stock and highly rated, it simply will not risk recommending it to a user. End of story.
And then there's the information gain test penalty. Oh boy, our failed store had thousands of products, but they took a massive shortcut. They relied super heavily on copy-pasted supplier boilerplate text for their product descriptions. Well, in the answer engine era, doing that triggers an instant algorithmic penalty. AI models are constantly hunting for unique, verifiable information gain, so by using the exact same text as 100 other retailers out there, the store completely blinded itself to the AI because it offered literally no unique value to be cited.
Moving on to part 3, the token priority problem. Let's talk structural formatting. This is where the 20K rule and the whole concept of front-loading comes in. Large language models, or LLMs, actually read data in tokens, right? And they heavily prioritize information found at the very beginning of a document or page. Our failed store made the critical mistake of burying their most crucial specifications and unique selling points all the way at the bottom of these incredibly long product pages. By failing to front-load that important info, they totally missed the LLM token priorities. They essentially buried their best data in a graveyard where the machine is just never going to look.
Okay, part 4, escaping the dropshipping stigma. This is all about visual authority.
So it's not just about text anymore. Modern AI vision systems look right past surface-level descriptions. To the machine, our failed store looked exactly like a ghost shop because they were just using generic stock images with stripped metadata.
A real brand, on the other hand, gives the machine rich image metadata. They have macro stitching details showing the actual physical product, and they provide real environmental context. Multimodal AI evaluates all of this behind the scenes to figure out if you're a legitimate, trustworthy brand that's actually worthy of a citation.
So let's pivot to the fix. Part 5, the new survival blueprint. Here are the tactical methods.
First up, we've got to look way beyond our own website and start building off-page geo footprints. There is an urgent need right now to establish a real presence across forums like Reddit and Quora. Why? Because AI models actively scrape public sentiment on those exact platforms to formulate their definitive answers. Let me put it this way. If actual humans aren't organically discussing and recommending your brand off-page, the answer engine is definitely not going to recommend you on-page.
Next, we have the ongoing necessity of the 30-day data cycle. Guys, you cannot just build your store and forget it anymore. You have to maintain content freshness to actively signal those automated crawlers. If your data, your reviews, and your schemas just sit stagnant for months at a time, the AI assumes your store is basically inactive. You have to force those crawlers to come back by constantly updating your data. That's how you ensure they don't just bypass your listings entirely when they're putting together a real-time answer for a customer.
I want to leave you with this absolutely crucial directive from Anthony Farrior himself. He says, stop optimizing for legacy algorithms. Build a store engineered for the machine learning age. And he hits the nail on the head there. Whether you're managing a cool little boutique digital shop or a massive enterprise e-commerce platform, the old rules are dead. You have to future-proof your digital storefront today, like right now, before you suffer the exact same flatline fate as the store we just audited.
Which leaves us with the single most important thing you should take away from this explainer. I want you to go look at your own digital architecture today and ask yourself a really tough question. Is your store optimized for the search box, or is it optimized for the answer engine? Because if you can't confidently say it's the latter, well, it's time to get to work.